Hi everybody, welcome back to SlipTwpKnit. I'm Shelby and I come to you from Shelby Township, Michigan, which is where I do my knitting. If you're new here, thank you for giving me a chance, and if you are a returning viewer, thanks for coming back. For those of you who are new, my name is Shelby. I come from Shelby Township, and the local name for this place is Shelby Twp, or the Twipp. So on almost all of my social media you can find me as Shelby from the Twipp or Shelby from Shelby. And I incorporated the Twipp into the name of my knitting podcast, which is a mashup of Shelby Twp and the Decrease Stitch Slip Slip Knit. Now, whether or not you are a new or old viewer, I have a co-host today. Hello, this is Booney. You're so cute. You're a good boy. This is Boone. He's a 6-year-old Labrador, and he's not actually supposed to be on the bed. Not a whole lot. So it's been about 4 weeks since my last upload, and there's a reason for it. And I recorded an episode 2 weeks ago, but I just really wasn't happy with the way it turned out. So I was going to re-record it the following night, and then I looked in the viewfinder that night and I saw how tired I looked, and I said nope. So one time I prioritized sleep over knitting, and it's been killing me ever since, because I think I've gotten maybe one full night of sleep in the last 3 weeks. It's been a lot of fun. What are you doing, Poopy? He's a good boy. So I'm gonna make this episode kind of short, mostly because it is late at night. Well, it's not late at night, it's like 9:30. But I'm ready for bed, and Boone probably wants his bed back, so might as well. This will be quick and I'll let you guys get back to business. But I have no finished objects, but I have 2 nearly finished objects and a couple of other things. So I'm going to start with the one that I'm actually most excited about, which is a new cast on. You haven't seen it before. And that is that's my golden hour shawl, which really just, I'm gonna hold it like this. It's twice the size of it. So if you're unfamiliar, this is a top-down triangle shawl designed by Andrea Mowry, and it's a worsted weight shawl, and I'm doing it in 3 colors. So the first color is this, which is a MadelineTosh Tosh vintage in the color Kitten, and then color 2 is this orange. Can you see it? This is also Tosh vintage in the color Citrus, and then the third one, Tosh vintage in the color Birch Gray, and it's kind of a cream with black speckles. And it's kind of funny, I had previously purchased these 2 yarns on 2 separate occasions for 2 very different projects. Cakedom started those projects, just didn't like the way they turned out, and frogged them. And then I thought, what can I do to put those 2 colors together with a third color, which is how I wound up with the Birch Gray. I just went to Unique Knits, which is a yarn store in Royal Oak, when they were having their annual sale after Labor Day, and I bought the Birch Gray. So I'm actually really happy with how this is turning out. It's probably not a good winter shawl. I don't think these are really good winter colors, but it's definitely like a good fall thing. And the reason I'm knitting it now is because a few weeks ago, around, I don't know if it was the same time I was taking my bereavement. It might have been the following week, because I took a day off the following week as well for just doctor's appointments. But anyway, one of those, the day I took off, I was sitting around and I was in like full on panicking. I was just thinking of my knitting and everything that I wanted to do, and something in my head just clicked and went, knit faster, 2020's almost over. So I was gonna cast on I have a couple other shawls on my to knit list for this year, but they're fingering weight yarn and this is worsted weight, and I thought, I don't want to knit a worsted weight shawl in summer if I need it to be ready for fall. So hence why I'm knitting a worsted weight shawl now, because it's still winter. I'm really happy with the way it's turning out. I love the gray and the orange together, and I think the cream, whether or not you can see the speckles, just really pops. And yes, I'm really happy with it. I think this is the first time I've done any sort of mosaic knitting, so that's new for me. I haven't done a whole lot of anything with bobbles on it, so quite a few bobbles. And yeah, I'm almost done with the second bobble section, which is great because that means I'm eventually going to be knitting on the section that is just plain orange, and I think eyelets. But I really like the way this is turning out, and I'm happy that I'm going to have it complete here soon, and I can have it ready for fall, which is exciting. So that was big project one, and I love that it's knitting up it's knitting up way faster than everything else. I want to work on it more than everything else I'm working on right now. But I set a goal. And I'm committed to getting it mostly done. And that is to finish my Love Note sweater. See, I'm on a sleeve. I finally picked up a sleeve. So this is the Love Note by Tin Can Knits. I finally bound off the bottom. I ripped back. I picked up the stitches again. I did the short row shaping, and I did German short rows instead of wrap and turns this time, and I'm much happier with the result. And then I bound off first time using Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off, and then I picked up to do the right sleeve. I think I'm supposed to knit about 11 inches. I might do 10 before I start the ribbing, and then picking up the last of it. I think if I'm really diligent for the rest of this week, I probably can get it done by Friday, end of day Friday, which is what my goal was. I wanted to have my Love Note finished by the end of February. So that's exciting. And it's gonna be good. This is my first sweater, and if you don't know, the yarn I'm using is Stress Knits, her Tweedy base in the color Betty, and I'm holding that double. So here's Betty, and then I'm holding it double with Shibui Knits Silk Cloud in the color Ash. what they look like up close. Betty's like a pale blue, and then Ash is like a pale gray. I had picked a different color originally, but I wasn't happy with the way it was. Really pretty, but it just wasn't what I was doing. I wanted to keep the integrity of the Stress Knits color, so I just went with a regular pale gray that would kind of that would warm it up a little bit, but not compromise how beautiful this yarn is. So not a whole lot there. First time using Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off, and it was really nice. I really liked it. Knitting sleeves using magic loop is not fun, but that's about it. I wanted to find like DPNs or like a 9-inch circular, but nothing by me had them, so that's fine. I can live. I will live. So that's my love note. And then otherwise I have 2 sock projects, and this is where I'm at with my fluffy Nanook. It's kind of a 7/8 half finished object, so like 7/16 finished. So I have the body of the sock done. These are a design by Twin Stitches Designs. I'm using Knit Pick Stroll in the color Sapphire, Heather, and White, and then not a whole lot. I'm using a US 0 and a US 1. So for the color work section I have to go up a size, but then for the regular knitting I just go back down to a 0. Not a whole lot going on here. I did 2 repeats of the polar bear. This is what the bottom of the sock looks like. The back / bottom. And what I'm gonna do is I need to start sock number 2, which is fine. I can totally do that. And when I finish sock number 2, I'm just gonna do afterthought heels on them. So this is totally a me thing. I'm really not enjoying this. I love I like the challenge of doing color work, but at the same time I'm really just not enjoying it. And I'm trying to motivate myself with like having a finished object rather than enjoying the process of it, because for some reason I just am really not enjoying the process of making these socks. But look, they're really friggin' cute, so I'm gonna have to keep trucking. You know, 2020's almost over. I gotta keep knitting. And then lastly, these are the socks. I showed them in the last episode. I had started them. I don't remember where I was. When I recorded the last episode, I had turned the heel, and then I kind of lost my sock mojo. But that episode never went live. So, since wherever I was, which was probably like right about here, I have since done the heel flap. I've turned the heel, I picked up the gusset stitches, and I'm now in gusset land. Not a whole lot to say. This yarn thrills me. I love this yarn. It's just this really pretty all over speckle rainbow thing. and it's Malabrigo Machita in the color 728 Cello. But these socks, pretty simple, Hermione's Everyday Socks, free pattern on Ravelry, and very, very popular, very beloved pattern. This is the third pair I'm working on. I've made 2 already within the last 12 months. So by the time these are done, which I'd like them to be done by the end of April, that will have been my third pair in as many, will have been my third pair in a year. And then maybe I'll knit on a different sock, but who knows. I have a lot of things that I need. I looked at my queue the other day and I'm like, clearly some of it is going to be made this year and some of it is just going to have to wait until 2021. I'm not saying I bit off more than I can chew, because I really only want to do like 20 projects this year. So I have 2 done so far. I have a few more on the needles, and it's nice because I feel like I'm doing an okay job of destashing, which makes me feel good, because you know, sometimes I feel so overwhelmed when I think of what my stash looks like, or even what it could look like. So destashing has been good for me, I think. I told you this would be quick, so thank you for sticking around. I'm gonna actually let you go. I'm really tired and I have a really bad headache, and like I said, this guy probably wants me to get out of here and turn the light off, so I'll do that. But if you made it this far, please comment in the comment section down below. Please let me know what you have on your to read list. Let's talk a little bit about books next time. I'd love that. And tell me what you like to knit to, if you are an audiobook person, or if you can knit with one hand and read with the other. So I'll let you go. Thank you for tuning in. Please go watch someone else's podcast, and I'll see you next time. Bye.